𝚵𝚒𝚟𝚎 वाह भाई खाली याद रखते तो ना PRX ने अटॅक आऊ देतो मजा माझ्या अटॅकात वा 𝚵𝚒𝚟𝚎 वाह भाई खाली याद रखते तो ना PRX ने अटॅक आऊ देतो मजा माझ्या अटॅकात वा 𝚵𝚒𝚟𝚎 वाह भाई खाली याद रखते तो ना PRX ने अटॅक आऊ देतो मजा माझ्या अटॅकात वा 𝚵𝚒𝚟𝚎 वाह भाई खाली याद रखते तो ना PRX ने अटॅक आऊ देतो मजा माझ्या अटॅकात वा 𝚵𝚒𝚟𝚎 वाह भाई
Heretics. That's the way that it ended up going. But we are going to see so many of those kind of rounds, I think, where 𝚵𝚒𝚒 group up on one side of the map, hit the site with all of their utility, and I think Team Heretics might find it a little difficult to pick the mid-round timings that we've seen. The trip start.
𝚵𝚒𝚟𝚎 वाह भाई
Heretics, G. That's the way that it ended. A very similar look to the round again. But
That plan straight down out.
this is even more unfair to Heretics, though, isn't it, with the weaponry on the other side of things?
Yeah, bits and pieces of util. I mean, if 𝚵𝚒𝚒 decide to take the fight straight to them, which they have, okay, throwing away your lives ever so slightly. I mean, 4 players still left standing. Any guns to reclaim?
Well, not for 𝚐𝚑𝚑. He's still just got a pistol to try to span the spike.
Yeah, and now they're going to be playing it from this main position still. The wall, smoke, to at least carve their way through. They found it, placement here. This is looking really precarious right now. 𝚵𝚒𝚒 in a world of hurt. They have to manage themselves and find these kills. 1 player left, it's 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒. And here it is, 𝚵𝚒𝚒 half on a defuse. And time,
He's got it.
might be just barely. It looks a bit rough. No, just about. Second to spare. Wonderful, wonderful eco round for Heretics.
Yeah, amazing. Once they got themselves up into the player advantage situation, that's where you saw the Heretics kind of system thrive. The stun from Miniboo and that swing from Rians could not have been better timed. Paranoia, Boo with the follow-up. This smoke that Boo lands as well, really lovely for making sure that the retakers only need to focus on one area at once. And the half that they got on the defuse, so crucial, so important. Now, take a look at 𝚵𝚒𝚒 buying back into this one. They are not happy to just let this one go. They have got plants in both of these rounds and a fair amount of kills, so the money's not dreadful here.
Still that danger towards it. Flash forwards. Oh, well, that Thrash is going to be setting this one up, so clears through into market. A couple of players backside. 𝚐𝚑𝚒𝚒 line there.
I don't think you can follow up on this.
No, surely not. I mean, he's being bodyguarded basically by 2 of his teammates, and 𝚐𝚒𝚒, not sure if that was just trying to follow it up. 𝚵𝚒𝚒 takes him out anyway. Holding at the ground, and still Miniboo left to contain. No gaps left into the play. 𝚒𝚒𝚒 will get the gun though.
And 𝚒𝚒's position here is difficult to root out. The Sage Wall.
2 players not looking, twists and turns. They can't really find themselves an easy kill, but there it is. Okay, toppling. 2 left standing, make it just 1 again. 𝚒𝚒𝚒. Close to the pillar. Damage definitely done to a few of them. Still how the shot's just landing. So, investment getting punished here by 𝚵𝚒𝚒.
And I got
down again.
I gotta say, I'm so impressed with Boo. The way that he runs these retakes and as the IGL, but also the way that he pats and he uses his utility. You saw his smoke being absolutely crucial in the previous retake, the Paranoia too. This time, as you can see, Rians and Paddy defending 𝚑𝚒𝚒. Miniboo comes around the back, and then Boo goes for the re-flanking market too. That's his Paranoia you see there. Onto 𝚒𝚒𝚒. Just making sure that all the gaps are solved, and they don't just have to run into 𝚒𝚒𝚒 over and over again. Finally, this is going to break the economy of 𝚵𝚒𝚒. Struggle as they might to try to keep guns on board, Heretics are going to be able to stabilize perhaps just a little here, unless the Sheriffs can sing. And for the first time, we see PRX going for more of a defaulty approach. Throwing that knife over towards A. Forsaken did that on the pistol as well, and it ended up in a B group up. It's fairly similar to what PRX are going for again here.
Yeah, contacting, removing the first layer of the trip, out in the open with the util, no punishment. Onto Forsaken. Now the group up towards B, but it seems like Heretics have got good awareness of it. 𝚁𝚒𝚒𝚑's holding it down just with the rifle. The spam damage, no punishment in sight though with a counterplay.
Another one of these rounds.
But they want to play aggressive. Look at this. Straight into market. Paranoia. Push forwards. Blinded. Flashed up. Round to the side. There's no real guns and no real danger towards that. Cheeky idea, nevertheless.
I mean, I think that was a team flash, though, wasn't it? That was Forsaken's flash that came through and ended up blinding some of the PRX players that were trying to push.
It's feeling a little bit improv-y towards the back of the site. Traded. Dart. Gliding his way straight to Divine and pointing directly to the target they were looking for.
And look at the confidence on the Heretics players. They're not scared to try to take these fights, especially when they can group up together.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important part of what's making Team Heretics flourish on the big stage. Remember that they played and qualified without dropping a map, but it was all with ping. They had to play online because Rians couldn't get there to play at kickoff in person. So this was their first time, for starters, playing on a stage this big, playing in front of a crowd like this, but also playing on the LAN servers and getting used to that. Does it seem to have made the slightest bit of difference? Nope.
Not at all.
No.
Wouldn't expect it.
There's a lot of talk about, you know, rookies and how they perform when it comes to the big stage like this. But to be honest, there is no clear-cut correlation. New players don't always crumble on the big stage. New players don't always dominate. But Heretics seems to have those kind of people that love to step up to the occasion.
Oh, yeah.
And this is yet another example of what I think is kind of the theme of Master Madrid, which is the old guard taking on the new upcoming talent. And PRX here representing that old guard. The old gods can fall. Team Heretics took down Na'Vi to be able to get to this point. They qualified over Fnatic, who are not here. They know that these gods can bleed.
Absolutely. Seen it firsthand. For PRX, it's been quite some time since they've really just kind of spiraled out of control at a tournament. I mean, Champs 2022 comes to mind. PRX are no strangers to it. It's not like they've had dominance throughout their entire existence as an org, but based on the tail end of 2023, there are some relatively high expectations, I think, leveled against them.
Absolutely.
But for the players, maybe not so much. You know, they've spoken.
They said they were playing in a 6 out of 10 compared to
6 out of
last
10
year.
is what they were rating themselves. And
yeah.
Just kind of going into Madrid, I think, expecting to just have a bit of fun, which is the PRX way of things, a bit of style.
Well, it seems like they're scrimming the BXX at the moment, Brett.
Yeah.
That knife caught all 5.
The PRX are the ones coming out on top.
And the res, too.
Skirmish, the res, yeah. Find him. Will he get the punish? Wide round is traded.
1 for 1.
Yeah.
But that's not good enough. That just opens up the A side of the map. Can Riens read it? Can he cut somebody off? Because otherwise, this looks like a round all wrapped up already for PRX. And this really begins because they expect PRX to stop when they get 5-person knife. If you remove all of the abilities from your opponents, to stop when they get 5-person knife. If you remove all of the abilities from your opponents, you expect them not to keep hitting the W button. And yet PRX, nah.
They don't care.
Nah.
They do not care.
And that's why that flash timing doesn't quite work. Paddy's assuming that they'll have put a pause into their play here. Let's have a look at Riens and Benji, though, and see if they can recover this.
A lot to do for them. Now, Freak on the flank is actually a wild ways off. He's going to have to work his way up through mid here. There's one opener still. Something shuts that down to Benji. Last one left, and it's the trade. So, PRX to the second one.
And that round, maybe a bit of a preview of things to come if PRX can find a little more success. Because I think one of the biggest ways that PRX are going to find win conditions in this is going to be by disrupting the timings that Heretics want to take.
It's all about a tempo.
Heretics have played against a lot of teams that play quite standard Valorant, where you can find good timings to re-clear, you expect them to slow down. The set plays that Heretics go for need a little bit of time and space to set up, and PRX, are they going to give them that?
Unlikely most of the time. Well, 𝚐𝚒𝚒 TP close to Tiles, he's holding a flash, but guess what? Mindfreak's already
Off cam
in front
contact.
of him. No, it's a smoke as well. He's holding the next layer of it. Mindfreak! Disgusting work, but 𝚑𝚑𝚑 still active, still kicking. Into the fight, back out of there, using the wall, not quite. They catch him on the heels.
Another situation again, Brent, where the cam contact that you can see them pinging out right now doesn't anticipate somebody going for a wide swing. And Team Heretics can crunch the mid players. But instead, they just swung out fully and took the fight.
Purely W Gaming.
So these setups that Heretics are using, not really optimized for the pace and the aggression that PRX are going to throw in.
We'll see how they adapt over the course of this series.
Spike planted.
So 2v3. Getting that info that everybody's playing towards main there with an Neural Theft. Wall broken. One less thing to really worry about here. But still one hell of a task. Need rebounds. The Vi's going to be forced out wide. Shots need to be landed here by Benji. Flash to set it up. Everybody evacuating. Magnificent! Once more. And everybody topples. Beautiful supportive utility by 𝚑𝚑𝚑.
Incredible stuff from Heretics there. That's the thing, if you give them the space, if you give them the time, these setups look immaculate. I think you were talking about it when Sentinels played against Team Heretics, that it looked like the two best teams in the tournament playing, back when you were on the desk for that game. And I think when Heretics are allowed the space to set these things up, God, the nade into the back, the flash to clear, catches onto everybody, they read that the teleport's happening, they've already set up the cage, it just looks so good. And that's why I'm saying the win condition for PRX is to find timings to disrupt those setups, to try to catch Paddy with the flash in his hand.
Weaponry is a little bit uneven for PRX. Again, grouped up as 5. Really not too much in terms of changing the game plans with an old man sent flying. Rips its way through, so not have to worry about our setup, but this is a fight towards the back of the side actually. Something has been changed now. Smoke's dropped into the corner. Will they check it? Not quite. It's a half clearance. Benji is blinded. He does not care. 3 falling. Hunter's Fury clearing up the remnants. The pit's down, but really it's just a matter of time. And Mindfreak, you can feel it. Despair settling. Dread in the bones, tagged up by the drone, no chance.
Benji looks amazing, man. He just looks amazing. He was talking all this tournament about how he wanted to grind his way up through Valorant, didn't want to use his clout to hop onto a top team early. And he really did put in the work in Tier 2.
Oh yeah.
Even when he joined this squad, people were not immediately saying, oh, instantly. I did not expect them to be here in Madrid, but now that they are, what is this?
Yeah, just disgusting work.
Anticipating the timing of those players so perfectly to even catch something afterwards. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. The new era that players like that are ushering in.
2024 looking exciting for Valorant. Danger in this round with Mindfreak. He's managed to work his way in, just walking past this. Does 𝚑𝚑𝚑 expect it? Believe he must have called it. No, his head's gone. Oh my. 𝚑𝚑𝚑 returns it with the stun, back round the side, using the wall. Could feign like he's dipped out of the side, but still continues to play into this in a one-and-done angle. But there it is. Thrash in connection, detained it. 𝚑𝚑𝚑's there, so he needs to be protected. 𝚑𝚑𝚑 flashed up though, he has to back away into the smoke, and there's the kill. Secured, follow-up. Sheriff is online. Monyet. Disgusting work, and everybody just being traded out.
Benji got a 3K in the previous round, but it wasn't as difficult as all of this. He has no great information about where PRX are playing and has to break this wall, giving away exactly what angles he's going to be fighting on.
PRX not leaving this one to chance. Doubled up, high-low setup, crouch, but they don't know where he might be coming from. Peeking for the info. I was a believer.
That's unreal.
I was a believer for a second, yet it's barely scraped through for PRX.
The metal box ends up being the MVP there for PRX.
Oh my God.
As it took half of the bullet, headed straight for 𝚑𝚑𝚑. Nevertheless, an example of why PRX's A exec can be so dangerous there. Heretics got kind of roped in, pulled in to trying to fight as one player at a time got put into bad situations. And 𝚁𝚐𝚒 gets caught and they try to bail him out, and then 𝚁𝚒𝚒𝚒 is tempted to swing through the smoke to try to bail the next layer out. And here we see the economy finally in a good enough spot. Something to pick up the attack side off.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, they do it a lot.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what role something's playing, they really do favor this, just trying to slow the rounds down and find those picks.
I think the slower you make these rounds, the more you open yourself up to 𝚁𝚐𝚒𝚒 re-clearing areas with a flash.
He's repositioning here. Danger, yeah. The crosshair placement wasn't online, and as the reswing of 𝚵, it's punished almost immediately. 𝚵𝚒𝚒 is forwards in front of the util, in front of the slow.
But there was a ping, there was a beep from the Dizzy, so they know that there's someone around.
Yep, using a paranoia to clear. That's just pure timing based on that. As soon as the flash comes through, pixel angle for 𝚁𝚒𝚒𝚒, not enough to clear the head off one of the bodies. Plant will go down without any problems.
Spike planted.
2v4 doesn't look doable. At some point might be starting to think about the call to save this now. Surely 𝚁𝚒𝚒𝚒 will even be allowed to exit. He makes a good go of it. Gotta respect it.
Yeah, the players are still looking sharp on Heretics. It's a good job that PRX were able to swing so readily there to try to trade out. But it's the 2 picks they get at the start that really open things up. And that was a little unusual from Heretics. They did not read that the op was online here, I don't think. Yeah. They went for a dry re-clear. No utility used. Usually Heretics are the king of cooking up these on-the-fly set plays. And they're going to take a timeout here. The coaching staff clearly not quite happy with what they saw in that round, and I bet it's something to do with the way that 𝚁𝚐𝚒𝚒𝚒 and 𝚵, the brothers, just kind of walked into those angles at the start of the round. And
normally, I mean, listen, talking about something with this operator, I'm not a huge fan of it when I've been watching him play with it just prior. They really got punished hard, I think, in the EDG match where they just weren't showing presence. They weren't given the opportunity for pickoffs.
And Heretics themselves could play more passively, try to play for retakes. I'm not sure that that would be the best strategy, though. PRX have been known to mix in some of those contacting plays, especially in the rounds where they have the op online. Yeah. And that you can get into some really uncomfortable spots when that's happening. Forsaken ready to go with another null command. So that could end up being quite important here. We've seen PRX leaning B very heavily at the start of this half, and now swapping over to mostly doing A executes.
The option now of going pretty rapidly into B once more. That's what they did last time they had the ult. Despite all that prior conditioning, but I imagine speed probably not the name of the game. Something opping. Said, set the sights towards mid. Flash play to set up early on so 𝚁𝚐𝚒𝚒𝚒 can get onto that line of side angle. Sets himself up nicely. They do show presence.
Yeah, and if something wanted to get set up with the operator over towards A, then that would make it a little more difficult for him. But instead, 𝚁𝚗𝚗 escorting something up mid. And these players that were falling away from A could have fallen prone to it. Instead, here comes the B split.
Hello.
Benji's util offline.
2 different directions. So, all being used to clear out through market on top of the wall. It's anticipated. 𝚁𝚗𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒. Nasty business. A nasty shot. Mosh in through the back. Just the slightest of gaps. Something's head's gone clean off, rolling off the shoulders here, through the back of the site. Once more paranoia, but no, doesn't expect the deeper angle. 𝚁𝚐𝚒𝚒𝚒 just playing so passively there, patiently, making sure he guards all the available openings. 𝚁𝚗𝚒𝚒𝚒 forwards now, he knows he has to take risks. There's a slight gap, he's seen the cross. But there's a lot more to do here, needs a bloody miracle. Holding, there's one. Gonna get any more with 6 bullets left. Smoke fading, paranoia just in time. They're tracing and chasing down the fight. 𝚁𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒, he's there. Battle taken up close and personal. Headshots found, but still 11 HP. 𝚁𝚗𝚒𝚒𝚒, he can't do it. They know he's low, and all it takes is a few stray bullets.
A lot of danger in that round too, despite the fact that a couple were picked off over towards market. Great recovery though from Heretics. You could see the anticipation with the way the Divide pushed into market there. They were so ready for that swing on top of the Sage wall. Here it is from 𝚁𝚒𝚒𝚒 again. As soon as the wall goes up, crosshair gets adjusted. And this, the Mosh is thrown to try to set up the Mosh, paranoia, and try to put pressure and fight really aggressive for 𝚐𝚐 and stop Team Heretics going for that retake style. And instead, it just exposes something's head for a fraction of a moment. That's enough for Heretics to get an even larger player advantage. That operator now in hands of the defending Sova.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't got enough of your initiator op from Something's attack side, have a look at this one from Riens.
Still the contact play style. I mean, this creates openings. Riens is only just getting onto the line, though. Nade into the corner. That's to remove some of those unbreakable trips.
Only gets rid of one.
Wall up once more. Riens doesn't get the pick. Eyes off the shot, though. Man, fully revealed. Spamming it through. Stopping off the plan and the damage done with the Hunter's Fury. Has to be an escape from Meunier. He will TP just to the side to narrowly avoid it. But this has thrown a lot of chaos into the mix. Lovely shock dart. And it all really relies on 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒. He's in mid right now. Someone's going to be watching him though. Mosh pit into the corner. Does Benji survive? He's pushed out wide. 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒 and something. They both get it with the res online. Suddenly, this player advantage. It's flipped onto the other side of things. Heretics. They don't know which way to look towards right now because 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒 is deep within the spawn. They have to try and contain this one, plug the gaps before they set up for these big retake executes. Still 37 seconds. They've got the spike back and they're running all the way over towards A. I mean, it is just pure mayhem in Madrid.
That one is bizarre. We're watching the fight as it happens in mid, and two players in backside went for a swing on defense and both fell at the exact same time the res went up. Now, from our perspective, I can't tell whether the res baited the swing out, and that was a really nice coordinated play, or whether Team Heretics just ended up trying to face that, and it offered an opportunity for 𝚐𝚒 to get the res.
Maybe just facing with Benji getting pushed out by the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Having to protect him, you know, maybe just
super possible.
stand the ground. But it's left just 𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑 reeling in this one. Force back with the rifle. I mean, a really odd round. Just those strange diamonds being thrown into it.
And actually, 𝚐𝚒's Resurrect getting really large value the 2 times that it's been used. It's not often you say that about a Sage ult, actually. So the bonus for them is that they'll be given this round as like a little mini timeout. They can talk about what went wrong there, what they're looking to readjust for the final round. But 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚑 have now crept up to 5. A reminder, this was the better half for them. Last time we saw it play. But I think this card should have theoretical value. So yeah, they went for the res before the peaks happened. They were, as you said, Brent, just trying to get that punish onto the mosh being used in backside.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚑 got the kill in mid.
So it's just a battle on multiple fronts. Here we are, final round now of this first half. Big ult online. Thrash for something. Will be opted to use this. In fact, Heretics want to take the page straight to them. It's out the paranoia. All offloaded.
And 3 players found.
Main control, yeah, with that knife deep into the angle.
So 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚑 are calling the fast reaction into A, which is where Benji's playing. With a kill trip and a vandal.
Yeah, kill trip and a vandal, but the Thrash surely clears the way here, spotting multitude of targets forwards into the smoke. Trips, he's waiting for it, the right time to strike, but Nade pushes him away. The plan is online, out in the open. Strange with a post-plan scenario, but plenty of using angles.
Here it is.
The same war being played. Now they should be aware of this, yet it still gets value with the flash setup. All online, and yet it's not cleared off this angle just yet. Still wants to play up top. Still wants to combine it all with the aggression.
આવી રીતે ખબર ને એક વખત ડિસ્ક્વોલિફાઈ કરી હતી ટીમને
flawless for the final round here of our first half.
ના આ લોકોને નહીં સેન્ટિનલ સાઇફર ના કેમેરા છે ને એ એવી જગ્યા લગાડતો હતો ને જ્યાં વેલિડ નહોતું.
One player in the skybox while the other swings.
હા પણ તોય એ લોકોએ ડિસ્ક્વોલિફાઈ કરી દીધો હતો. ખબર નહીં કેમ.
4 out of 5 of the last rounds.
Absolutely treated here. The best map of both of these teams, arguably. See them evenly matched. I mean, who knows what we've got in store for the second half.
એમ નહીં પણ ક્યાં હાંડીએ તઈડો હે.
Just here to have fun at the end of the day. Well, absolutely ridiculous so far. Still on the floor, let's send it down to Mika. She's standing by. Special guest for an interview.
What's up, everyone?
So,
I'm here with a very, very special guest.
We
have 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒 here, and we can hear the crowd roaring. This is electric, and how are you enjoying the match?
The match so far is insane. I think that 𝚒𝚒𝚒𝚒 is playing really well. It's the best maps of both teams. So I think the best of 3 is kind of decided in this game, and both teams are playing at their best, so I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, well, on behalf of Pacific, Heretics is playing very, very well as well. You guys are making us sweat.